5:30. Coverage you can count on.
On Eyewitness News at 5:30, the immigration crackdown front and center here in Central Florida.
Every institution should be taking a look at it, making proactive steps to notify and educate their staff what to do if ICE or an immigration official comes to their school.
Tonight, we have the letter about the immigration crackdown sent to local school leaders. This is a developing story. Brevard Public Schools is preparing its staff for potential visits from immigration enforcement. Good evening. I'm Martha Sigalski.
And I'm Greg Wormuth. District intends now to make sure that the procedures are followed according to the law without obstructing ICE if they come on campus. Channel 9's Melanie Holt live at school board headquarters in Viera. Mel, this letter went out to school leaders yesterday and quite the reaction.
Oh, today, the district shared that letter with me along with a statement that read in part, we would also like to add that our top priority is the physical and mental well-being of our students and staff. On Monday, Brevard Public Schools staff got updated guidelines on how to handle potential visits from Customs and Border Protection and ICE on their campuses. The feds recently lifted enforcement restrictions on so-called sensitive locations like houses of worship and schools. Dan Marquith is a former senior advisor to the ICE director. We caught up with him today on Zoom.
Well, every institution should be taking a look at it, making proactive steps to notify and educate their staff what to do if ICE or an immigration official comes to their school and attempts to obtain information, attempts access, anything of that nature.
BPS maintains the authority to limit access during school hours or during school-related events. If ICE visits, they must have a valid signed subpoena or court order to access education records, and school staff must comply with lawful requests, which may include the possible removal of a student.
Understanding, even from a tactical perspective, for any law enforcement officer, not specific to ICE, for any law enforcement officer to attempt an enforcement action into one of these locations, such as a school, a place of worship, any of these places, it is not something that's going to be top of mind for law enforcement.
The visiting director of clinical and experiential education at Stetson University's College of Law told me he believes law enforcement will try to strike a balance.
I guess all of us in the community will see what happens next. Of course, ICE still requires a warrant to make an arrest, and I suspect that schools at all levels are learning what those look like.
BPS said that it is committed to providing all students with an education regardless of immigration status. Live here at school board headquarters in Viera, Melanie Holt, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.